called my strokes, grubs, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. But untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. And hello, I'm late on the draw again. Great day. Welcome to Emerge, where we are empowering people on your journey towards spiritual wholeness. I'm your host, Isaac J. Niles Sr. I am so glad to be able to join you tonight and to have this conscious conversation. Thank you all that are online with us right now. Please do me a favor while you're on here, tag and share with as many people as you possibly can. Take a moment right now and just begin to tag every person that you know would benefit from being a part of this conscious conversation. And then also take about 30 seconds and share this live on your page right now. That way, everybody that's scrolling your page, you know, those friends, families, and then also those foes, you know, who don't ever comment, don't ever like anything, but they're always stalking and scrolling on your vein. Yeah. Give them something to scroll to and put us on your page, and maybe they'll jump into the conversation, even if it's just to see if you're going to say anything. So go ahead and just put it on your page, and hopefully they'll join us in this live. I am so glad to be here. I'm excited about tonight's conversation. I'm excited to be able to share with each and every one of you. And I am especially excited because today we launched our 90 days of abundance this morning at 6:30 a.m. And many of you were on there with us this morning. As a matter of fact, we had more people on this morning than we have on right now. I don't know what that says, but man, you were there. You know that the meditation time was intense. It was phenomenal. We had such a great experience this morning. I don't know about you, but I could sense and feel the presence of God as the words and the meditation began to resonate within my soul, and find myself melting into that very presence, amalgamating and becoming consciously aware of our oneness with God. It was an absolutely wonderful experience. Wonderful experience. I hope that you had as great of a time as I did. I'm trying to fiddle with this iPad while I'm talking to you at the same time to fix something here. And I don't see it. But yeah, so it was absolutely phenomenal. A great time this morning. And I am so glad that each of you were there with me. There it is. To experience it. Those of you who came in, I really appreciate it. I do. Okay, why is this happening? This is okay. Oh, that's why it's doing that. All right. Okay. So we're going to get into a really good conversation. Now, listen. While we're preparing to get into our conversation tonight, the teaching for tonight, I would really like to hear from those of you who were on this morning. Some of you are already talking about it. Amen. Excited about the 90 days of abundance. Diana says she's excited about that. Ooh, could we leave the music playing for a few minutes after the meditation? Sure. Absolutely. I will do that in the morning. That's no problem at all. I will just let it play on a loop for a while, and that'll be fine. Sure, absolutely. I'd like to get your input, others of you who were on this morning, about what you thought about the meditation this morning. Did you enjoy it? Did you have the same intense experience that I did? Just tell me about what your experience was. Hey, Mark, man, it's so good to see you on here. God bless you, bro. Thank you, Bridget. Bridget said it was awesome. I thought so too. What about some of the rest of you that are on here? Okay, there's about 12 of you on here now. So we need to get some more people commenting. I'd really like to know what your experience was this morning, if you were on with us this morning. My boyfriend did it with me and he said it was great. Fantastic. Fantastic. I hope he's listening with you right now. Invite him to just jump on and listen. I would absolutely love to have him to be a part of the experience along with us. You can actually copy, you're on YouTube, you can copy the link if he's not there at the time and just send it to his phone and he can watch it on his phone wherever he is at this point. Diana says that she had so much going on, I can't tell it all. Well, that means you had a really fruitful experience, man. You got to call me and tell me about that one. That must have been something special. I want to hear it all. Okay. Do the affirmations a little slower. You think slower in the morning. I'll try and slow down a little bit, but remember, we only have 15 minutes. So we got to squeeze as much into that 15 minutes as we can. Okay? So I will try and slow it down just a little bit. Oh my goodness. He went into a deep sleep afterwards for about 2 hours. He enjoyed. Look at that. And that's one of the side effects, I'm telling you. When you spend time in deep meditation, when you come out of that meditation, you will either find yourself very peaceful, very restful, very sleepy, and you'll be able to rest really well. I mean, just you get into that realm where you are conscious of your soul moving about the universe in different times and spaces. Your dreams are vivid and lucid. Or you go through the next part of the day feeling such a great, overwhelming sense of peace and presence. It stays with you. It has a lingering effect. So that is very common. Bree said the meditation was amazing. I am affirmations make my soul leap. I love that. Me too. It has the same effect on me. I'm telling you. Theresa said that would be good. Of course, I wanted a longer time period, but a beautiful experience. Hey, you can go as long as you desire, but for the plan, I'm only going to be on with you doing the guided meditation for 15 minutes. But if you want to continue on, man, go for it. Go for it. I am so glad all of you are having such a good experience with it. Somebody tag Toya. This is not like her. I don't see Toya on here. She's my number one tagger. See, she must have got tied up tonight. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it, man. But I have like this setup here that allows me to stream live on Facebook, on YouTube, and other channels as well at the same time. But I appreciate that, man. You're good looking out. Good looking out. Oh, wow. Diana says she went into worship after meditation. I absolutely think that's fantastic. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love you too, Mark. I'm telling you right now, you're a real brother, man. I absolutely love you. Love you. Give my love to the wife and kids as well. But okay, so let's get into this teaching for the night. Now, if I seem a little bit choppy, I made the mistake of not plugging up my iPad, so it is running on low power mode, which means that it's going to lock the screen like every 2 minutes if I don't touch it or do something with it, because it can't run where it never shuts off with the power being so low. I forgot to plug it in, and so it's running on low power right now, and I got it plugged up right now, trying to get it to get a little more juice in it. Okay, so tonight, we want to talk about the mystery, the mastery, and the magic of giving. And let me just say up front, for those of you who might be a little bit nervous, especially some of you who are on here that come from the Christian church background, don't get nervous. This is not a scam. It's not a trick. It's not a gimmick. I'm not trying to get you to sow a seed and I need to give $1,000 for this, that, and the other. I'm not selling you no blessed handkerchiefs, blessed prayer cloths, blessed miracle spring water, and then so along those lines, or the red blood of Jesus handkerchief. You know I'm getting ready to do it. That God! That just tickles me. I'm telling you, that guy, he is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. None of that, though. Okay. This is good, sound, practical teaching. All right. Good, sound, practical teaching. Principles that you can apply to your life and see the manifestation of this magic in your life all by yourself. All by yourself. Now, if you decide that you want to give something to me, then you're more than welcome to do so, but it is not required. Okay? So let's talk about this. What do I mean by the mystery, mastery, and magic of giving? Did you know that giving was magic? Did you know that it was magic? Probably not, because of the mystery. That is, I call it a mystery because giving has been so shrouded. And so there's Toya. There you go, girl. I was worried about you. I was worried, and it's not like you not to be here. Okay. But it has been so shrouded and covered with gunk and junk and foolishness and scam artists and con persons. I was about to say con men, but it's men and women, because I know some women that can run with the best of the brothers out there when it comes down to running those, those games when it comes to trying to get money out of people. And so in doing so, what they have done is so polluted this magnificent power, this magnificent principle and practice, a spiritual practice, and almost made it seem carnal and made it seem like a barter system and made it seem like, they've created this image and likeness of God, of the divine spirit, as being Santa Claus. Like God is Santa Claus, coming with a bunch of goodies and toys on his sleigh, and he's watching to see if you've been naughty or nice. And if you've been naughty, then you get coal in your stockings. But if you're nice, then he might bring you something good and put it under your tree. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? Or like God is some type of bellhop at your beck and call, and just, there to just make sure that he bless you and give you favor because you pleased him or her, or what, you pleased God. And so now God gonna bless you. God getting ready to do this for you because you pleased him. Can I tell you that you don't have to please God? I know I'm already losing some church folk right there. Please don't click off. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. You don't have to earn the favor of God. You don't have to try and please God, because God is already pleased with you. That's what I mean. You don't have to try and please God. You don't have to appease God. God is already pleased with you. How could God not be pleased with you when you are a divine expression of it? You are all that God is. You are God personified, God in three-dimensional form, God in the flesh, God in jeans and a t-shirt, God in a suit and tie, in a dress or a skirt, God in high heels or crocodile shoes or Nikes. You are God walking around in three-dimensional form. You are the vehicle, the conduit through which God experiences and expresses itself in humanity. The only way the all of everything could ever experience and know itself beyond the conceptual understanding, the only way the all of everything, the creator of the universe, could actually know and experience itself was to the experiential experience would only come by incarnating itself in three-dimensional form. Individualized souls in these forms that are the expression, the likeness, the form and likeness of God walking around on two legs. That's how God experiences itself. That's how God is able to express itself. It had to do so in us, through us, and as us. Okay? Yes, Mark. He says, for the sons of the world, of this world, are more shrewd in dealing with their own generation than the sons of light. And let me unpack that statement a little bit, because when I talk about the sons of this world and the sons of light, I'm not saying that there's a difference between any of us in humanity, because God lives in all of us. But there are some that are consciously aware of the presence and the isness of God inside of them, their own divinity. And then there are others who meander around in darkness, having been duped and convinced and influenced that God is somehow separate from them, that they are down here and God is up there in the sky. That God is some old man sitting on the throne with a long beard and a scepter in its hand, looking down from heaven. He sits high and looks low, watching over everything that's happening on the planet. That is not so. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. We wouldn't be able to live, to breathe, or to move if that were the case. But Paul is purported to have said and caught this revelation when he says, it is in him. He was speaking of God, the divine. I live, I move, and I have my very being. In another place, it says, if we don't have the Holy Spirit, whoever does not have the Spirit of God is none of his. In other words, you are non-existent. You don't exist. Okay? It is the Spirit that gives life. In another place, James says that the body without the Spirit is dead. Well, what is that Spirit? It is the Spirit of God, resident, experiencing, and expressing itself in us, through us, and as us. You are the God you have been looking for. You are the answer that you've been seeking for. You are divine and divinity wrapped up in flesh and wearing glasses or sitting in your house coat right now. You are God in the flesh. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? I'm sure you are, because most of you are on here with me all the time. There might be a few of you that are new. And so I want to make sure I keep you along with me. Okay? So what is this mastery and mystery that provides us a magic in giving? Being a giver means that I am expressing a part of my divinity. I know that you've probably never heard it like this before, Being a giver is a way or a vehicle. It is the highest form of expression of your own divinity. That is your likeness with God. The very nature of God is giving. And in a scriptural text, it says that, brethren, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth knoweth God, and he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Listen to that. God is love. Well, when you speak of the word love, most people think in terms of a feeling or an emotion. Let me please say to you very quickly that love is not an emotion or a feeling. Love is a spirit that can conjure or create an emotion and a feeling. But it is not, the feeling is not love. The feeling is the result of the love. Let me say that again. How can you say that, Isaac? Because, and let me use another scripture, since I know I've got a lot of you that come from the Christian persuasion. When it says God is love, well, in St. John, it also describes God is a spirit. Wait a minute, hold on. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So if God is a spirit and God is love, then love is a spirit. It is the Spirit of God. It is the expression and isness and experience of God. It is the very nature of God. Let me say that again. It is the very nature of God. Love is the very nature, the isness of God. And in Galatians, it goes on to say, but the fruit of the Spirit is love. First thing that's listed there, that the first attribute of the Spirit is love. And we have already established that you and I are that spirit. Individualized, unique expressions and experiences of the same spirit. That one God, each individualized into all of these unique parts or forms or people or humans, spirits being human, but all of us are that spirit, and that spirit is love. Now, how is love expressed? The highest expression of love is giving. The highest expression of love is giving. It is not by any small coincidence that when Paul, who is assumed to have written Corinthians, writes in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 about love, he does not even use the word love. He uses a synonym, which is charity. Charity is an expression or an act of giving. He says, love or charity gives of itself. Listen to how he describes love. Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels, if I have not charity, if I'm not a loving person, if I am not a giver, then I am as a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. Or in the words of James Brown, I'm talking loud, but saying nothing. There's a few of you old enough to remember that song. Y'all remember that, okay? That if all I'm doing is orating and spitting out words, He says it doesn't mean anything if it is not accompanied by charity, by giving, by serving, by what you came to offer the universe. What have you come to offer this planet, this plane of consciousness? What have you entered this three-dimensional realm to provide? What can you give? What can you provide? What can you share? How can you be charitable? How do you express the nature of God, which is love? So, ladies and gentlemen, if we are that spirit, and that spirit is love, and the expression of that love is through giving, charity, generosity, then it means that we, by nature, we are born love, therefore born givers. Whew. We are born charitable. We are born generous. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Babies, little babies, as they enter this three-dimensional realm, that soul that has now just left from eternity and entered into time is more conscious of eternity than time and has not had the time to be taught all of the negative, contrary, conflicting ideologies of humanity. And consequently, those babies are the most generous creatures on the planet. Babies are just naturally generous because that is the nature of our being. There was a point in your life, right? I'm telling you, you may not recognize it because you're so far from it now, that you were extremely generous. You didn't give any thought about sharing who you are, what you have, what you were holding, what you could give. You were happy to release and to share. You took joy in that sharing with others. You had to learn how to be stingy. Y'all not hearing me. Lord have mercy. Okay? Because it is your nature. Let me say it again. It is your nature. It is your very nature to be a giver. Becoming a giver requires a deeper understanding of the nature of God as source. Now, I'm going to take you a little deeper. We're turning a corner. Becoming a giver, that is learning to express our charitable, generous, loving nature, requires a deeper understanding of the nature of God as source and love. Understanding this truth will free you from that self-imposed prison of victimization, dependency, neediness, poverty, of want and lack. Poverty, listen to me, poverty is a learned mindset imposed upon all of us by the usual suspects: family, culture, environment, religion. All of them imposed upon us the mindset of poverty. Poverty is not, listen to me, poverty is not a three-dimensional experience. Poverty is a state of mind. It is a mindset. It is a conscious cognitive dissonance that exists within the conscious awareness of humanity. When you are the opposite of a giver, you are opposing your very nature. You are in conflict with who you are at your core. You are in conflict with your isness, with your structure. You are by nature a giver. But when you become the opposite of that, you become frugal, stingy, fearful, doubtful, and ultimately, the big one for a lot of people, poverty. You begin to develop this poverty mindset, this mind of fret. The poverty mindset accepts, embraces, and believes that there is a scarcity of resources, a scarcity of money, that there is a lack and need, that there is a limited supply, only a little bit, and you have to grab and hold on to as much as you can because the supply is so small and you don't know when you're going to get some more of this, that, or the other thing. That is a poverty mindset. It breeds this fear, this overwhelming, abiding, controlling, constraining fear. Fear that the resources that are available are limited and they're eventually going to run out. So you become a hoarder of whatever it is that you value because you think there's not enough to go around. I might run out. There is a parable that Jesus is purported to have given in the gospel, where he talks about a man who had planted a garden and planted a field, and the field brought forth abundantly. And the man said, I'm going to tear down my old barn and build bigger barns so that I'm able to store up all of my harvest and keep it there. And then I'm going to say to myself, self, soul, sit back, eat, drink, be merry, take your rest. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And then the parable ends by saying that Jesus is saying, but man, did you not know that today your soul will be required of you? Now, he's not talking about the hellfire, brimstone, and all the other foolishness that has been associated with that story. He's talking about an inventory of your own consciousness. This whole parable is about selfishness. It is about fear and selfishness. And selfishness is the cousin of fear, because selfishness comes as a result of the fear that I have limited resources. And so all that I have gained and all that I think that I have, all that comes to me, I need to build a bigger barn, a bigger storehouse. I need to make sure that I save it up, that I scrimp and set to the side, that I make sure that it's set over away and kept safe from leakage, so that I don't end up losing what I have. And he's saying, but hold on, you are operating from the place of fear, and that fear brings torment. Oh my goodness. That fear is like a magnet that brings the torment of anxiety and frustration and stress and worry and doubt. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? That's what it breeds. And that is the substratum, it is the foundation of a poverty mindset. The poverty mindset, the poverty consciousness is birthed out of that fear of limited resources. Now, here's something that might shock you. You can have money and still be in poverty. Lord have mercy. You can have tons of money and still be in poverty. You can live in the nicest house, in the best neighborhood, drive the finest car, and still be in poverty. Because it is the conscious mind that will control how you handle the supply of resources that are available to your hand. And you will find yourself like that foolish man building barns, saying, let me store, let me be careful, let me be picky, let me be cautious, let me make sure because I might run out. But when you finally understand this truth, that it is the Spirit of God that is within you that is the source of your supply. Let me say that again. It is not your job, not your bank account, not your car, not your house, not your neighborhood, your fine jewelry. None of that is the source of your supply. Not your boyfriend, your girlfriend, not your boo, not your bae, not your side chick or your side dude, your sneaky link. None of them are your source. You might think they are, not your sugar daddy or your sugar mama. They are not your source. The Spirit of God within you is the source. Everything, listen to me, everything that exists in this three-dimensional world, that exists in form, flows from the inner source that abides in you. That is God, the divine creator and curator of all things. It abides in you and it emanates from you and then manifests in this three-dimensional world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since everything emanates, that is, starts, begins, has its genesis in God, and God is the source of all that there is, I don't even need to tell you, do I? There is no limitation in God. Since God is the source, there is an infinite, limitless, boundless supply of everything. All that there is in infinite supply. All the resources that ever existed and ever will exist in infinite supply, limitless supply, because it begins and ends with God. And that same Spirit, yes, that raised up Jesus from the dead also quickens your mortal body. That is, lives in you, through you, and as you. So your supply is nothing external. Your supply is internal. And that if the outward supply runs short, then I just create more from within. Woo! Let me say that again. That if the outward supply runs short, I can simply create more because the source is within me. The source of its existence is inside of me. It's inside of you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And so what this whole 90 days of abundance is even about is teaching you and helping and equipping you to release that energy from the source within you, so that it then in turn flows out into the universe and is returned to you in three-dimensional form. You're not looking for abundance. You're not searching for abundance. You recognize I am abundance personified. I am abundance in human form. I am limitless, infinite, and without boundaries. And so out of me flows the river, or flows the endless flow of energy that is the creator, or the particles, the elements necessary to bring into three-dimensional form all that I desire. There is a limitless supply of the all of everything. Let me say that again. There is a limitless supply of the all of everything. We were taught as children. We were taught by mom and dad and cousins and aunties, and by culture and religion and environment, especially if you grew up in poor Black neighborhoods. We were taught to operate from that space of fear that there isn't enough. There's not enough time. There's not enough money. There are not enough resources. There's not enough love. There's not enough care. There's not enough of everything. We were taught this from a young age, and now as adults, it has become ingrained in our conscious mind, and so we are constantly in a hurry, constantly rushing, constantly filled with fear and anxiety, frustration, or stressing, because we think that the sources, or rather not the sources, but the resources are limited, that the time is limited. Time is winding up. Time is running out. Time is coming to an end. Time is short. Time is almost over. The sun is going down. The door is closing. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? But you are not bound or limited to time. Time is an illusion. It is an illusion created by humanity in order to be able to measure its experience in this three-dimensional form. But time, as you all know, we've talked about this before, is such an illusion that we can manipulate it and shift it and change it at any time that we get ready. Once a year, we spring the clock forward, and another time we let it fall back. Did something happen in the atmosphere? Did something happen in the universe? Did the earth stop spinning on its axle, or pick up speed, or slow down? Did something happen in the stratosphere? No. Humanity just made a choice to decide that we're going to move the time forward and we're going to move the time backwards. Because why? It's not a solid thing. It's an illusion. It's an illusionary tool created by humanity. So you can never run out of time. I hear you already. Your thoughts have become audible. Yes, you do, because we get old and then we die. You don't ever die. You simply change forms. Woo! Lord have mercy. You don't ever die. You simply change forms. You go, this mortal puts on immortality. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You shift from three-dimensional form and return to a multifaceted dimensional being, existing is and as God, until you decide to take form again. Are you understanding me? So there is no limits to time. Time is in abundance. Money is in abundance. Resources are in abundance, because we are the progenitors of all of it. that it flows out of us back to us. Let me say that again. That's good. I said it flows out of us as energy and flows back to us in form. It flows out of us as energy, thought and feeling and emotion and words and deeds, and then it flows back to us in three-dimensional form. We call those things that be not as though they were. You have as much time as you desire to have. You have as much hope as you desire to have. You have as much peace as you desire to have. And yes, you have as much money as you desire to have. But if you believe in the limiting victimization, dependent, crippled idea that somehow poverty idea that somehow resources are limited and you can only have a little bit, guess what? You will only have a little bit. You will have whatsoever you say. Keep saying it. I'm telling you, that mindset, let me say it again. That mindset, I'm trying to get this iPad to turn back on. That mindset is so ingrained in all of us from a very young age that we go around labeling ourselves and speaking those kinds of word curses, if you will, over ourselves. Remember that you are an omni-active spirit, always creating in the moment, the next moment that you will experience. And you are creating with your thought, words, and deeds. And your words are powerful. And here you are saying, I'm broke. I don't have nothing. I'm always broke, child. I just move from one paycheck to the next. I'm go from bad to worse. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying. I take 3 steps forward and 5 steps backwards. And so the universe and all of nature has to obey what is coming from your mouth, what your attitude, what your dominant thought is, what your belief is, what you have faith in, what your expectation is. Faith has the responsibility of being the support of what you expect. Substance of things hoped for. It empowers what you expect. And if your expectation is on limitation, it is on lack and scarcity and need, then faith has no choice but to produce a 3-dimensional reflection of lack, scarcity, want, and need, and to give it to you in abundance, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, because God operates from the place of abundance, and that God is you, in you, as you, operating from the place of abundance. As you declare, I don't have, I'm broke, I need, I want, I'm running out, I don't have enough, there's only a limited amount. And so then the Spirit of God within you that is always operating from the place of abundance has to now give you a 3-dimensional experience that reflects that mindset, and it reflects it pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so you get an abundance of what you really don't desire, but yet you think you deserve. Woo! Great day. I just hit something right there. I said you get an abundance of what you really don't desire, but you think you deserve it, because you've been taught this dichotomy, this separation between you and God, that God sits high and he looks low, that God is good and you are bad, that God is holy and you are evil and sinful, that God is gracious and kind and you are a filthy, nasty rag, a pauper, a beggar, and unworthy. Oh God, I'm just so grateful. Thank you, Lord, for looking beyond my faults and seeing my need, Lord, because I'm so unworthy. I'm filthy, Lord. Anything you do for me, Lord, any way you bless me, I'll be satisfied because I'm so unworthy. I'll be happy with the crumbs that fall from the rich man's table. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And that whole parable about the rich man and the woman who is underneath the table has been so misinterpreted because people have put themselves in the place of that woman and said, "I'll just take the crumbs," and you know, tell me what, because what's in the loaf is also in the crumb, and they dress it up real good, and everybody holler, "Yeah, just give me the crumbs, Lord." But do you recognize that in that story, you're the one sitting at the table with Jesus because you and Jesus are equal to each other? So you have access not to crumbs, but to the loaf. You're not the beggar, you're the baker. Lord have mercy. I said, you're not the beggar, you're the baker. You're not the one that's saying, "Give me the crumbs." You're the baker. You're the one who controls the loaf. You're not the borrower. You're the lender. You're not the tail. You're the head. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Change the narrative, ladies and gentlemen. You're the one seated at the table. Whew. I got caught. Hold on. Let me go back and look at some of these comments. I see a bunch of comments. So let me. Okay. Mark said, "I will never exchange God for money. I am the source. The money I can make and give, it will come unto me because I am." Amen. That is right. That's right. Laura says, like they used to say, "Give me your son at an early age and I will show you a man at the age of 7. So they will be programmed. I remember those days, man. Ooh, I'm telling my age now, but yeah, I remember when they used to say that kind of stuff. I'm so glad I didn't get given away. Yeah, and that's what it was. It was psychological programming. Mark, again, I have to go because, okay. All right. I understand. I love you, bro. Thank you for coming and hanging with me for as long as you could. Laura says, "I use my creative mind and not my programmed subconscious mind. I reprogram my mind to match the high frequency things." Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? Please understand that is a poverty mindset that has been ingrained within you and that has created this beggar mentality. That you're the one sitting under the table hoping that the rich man will drop some crumbs so you can get them. That is not the place that you are in. You're the baker, not the beggar. You're the creator, not the crumb snatcher. You're the creator. Okay? You are the creator. So when you understand that, and I've spent a lot of time there because that is really at the heart and the core of the mystery and the mastery. The reason that most have it's a mystery the most is because you have been so duped into and victimized into thinking that you don't have enough, that there is limited resources, that there's limited time, limited money, limited things, that somehow you can't have this, that, or the other, that you cannot have or experience what you desire. But you can. Listen to me. You can because you are. Woo. Let me say that again. You can because you are. You are the creator. You are a creative being. You are divine creative spirit. You are divine anointed sovereign creative spirit. You are the progenitor of all that there is. And there is an infinite, limitless supply of resources within you, because the Spirit of God within you is the source of your supply. The Spirit of God within you as you is the source of your supply. You are not running after things. You are manifesting what you desire from within, and it comes to you. Let me say it again. You don't have to chase after stuff and things. You don't have to chase after anything external. You don't have to be jealous of what anyone else has or is experiencing, because you have not only the authority, but you have the ability to create it for yourself. It flows to you. As it flows out of you, it flows to you. It flows out of you as energy and to you in form. Out of you as energy and to you as experience. You release the energy of peace and it returns to you as an experience of peace. You release the energy of joy and it returns to you as the experience of abundant, unlimited, unspeakable joy. You release the energy of wealth and abundance. It returns to you in the experience of wealth and abundance. You release the energy of money, and it returns to you in three-dimensional form as money. Whatever you sow, that will you also reap. And here is the mystery. You have to give what you desire to experience or have. Lord have mercy. Here's the mystery. Here's the mystery. Here is the mystery. Write this down. Get this in your conscious mind. Walk with it, sit with it, embrace it, make it your forward thought. You have to give what you desire to have and to experience. Let me say that again. Make this the front of your conscious mind, because this will guide you in every facet of your life. Because as you express the very nature of your being, which is God, which is love, which is charity, which is expressed through generosity, whoa! You have to give what you desire to experience and to have in three-dimensional form. You don't wait till you get it to give it. You give it and it will be yours. It increases, it manifests, and it has to manifest in the space of abundance. You give from the space and mindset of abundance. You give from the space and the mindset of abundance. You give, you release, you sow from the space of the mindset of abundance, that space and mind of abundance, and it returns in three-dimensional form and experience, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Now, by now, you have already tapped into the idea or the understanding that I am not just talking about money. Money is included, but money is not the all of everything. Money is just a tool. It's an answer. It's a weapon, but it is not the all of everything. what it is that you desire. There are many of you that desire love, but how loving are you? How kind, how generous? You desire friends, but how friendly are you? You desire network and help and doors, assistance along the way, but who have you opened doors for, and who are you assisting, and who are you mentoring, and who are you pouring into, and who are you helping? Are you understanding what I'm saying? You desire joy, but who do you give joy to? Who do you show up as the presence of joy and happiness and gladness and rejoicing, and bring joy to those that you encounter, that you meet, joy to every situation, circumstance, and relationship or encounter? Then when you are that, you cause more of it to flow into you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You want a successful business, but do you consistently support other businesses of the same nature as your own? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Huh? You want someone who will make themselves vulnerable and give themselves to you. But are you vulnerable? Will you give yourself, or are you so mean, hateful, and bitter and afraid that you got 100 million walls up, and now you want somebody to love you to health? Lord have mercy, you about plumb crazy and out of your mind. It's nobody's responsibility to heal you or bring you to health but you. It's nobody's gonna be loving you to health. By the time you get healthy, they sick of you, sick of the relationship, sick of your foolishness. It's your responsibility to get healthy. They don't need to earn their way over, around, and under your wall. You have the responsibility of taking that wall of bitterness and resentment and fear and trauma down brick by brick. It is your life and your responsibility. So you can't expect someone to give themselves to you when you are unwilling to give yourself to anyone else. Oh my goodness. I know I struck a nerve right there. I know I struck a nerve right there. You have to give what you desire to have. You have to give what you desire to manifest in abundance in your life. Giving is magical in that you get to determine your own experience. Whoa, let me say it again. I said giving is magical in that you get to determine your own experience. You, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You don't reap what you have not sown. You don't experience what you have not given. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You cannot grow an apple tree when you are giving banana seeds. Y'all not hearing me? Bananas produce bananas. Everything produces after its own kind. Bananas produce bananas. Apples produce apples. Pineapples produce pineapples. Dogs produce dogs. Cats produce cats. Cows produce cows. Humans produce humans. Are you understanding what I'm saying? There is no crossbreeding when it comes down to what you want to experience in your life in its fullness and wholeness. You have to be willing to sow it in order to reap it. You keep wanting money and you keep sowing everything but money. Lord have mercy. Yes, yes. Let me go ahead and deal with your money now, because I know that many of you on here that are already in your mind saying, "I wish I had more money. I wish I had more money. How can, Lord, please, God bless me with more money. Give me a better job, Lord. Give me another income, Lord. Give me 7 streams of income, oh God, oh God, oh God, if you will." Start humming when it comes to that money, man. Whoa! But you cannot expect to get money by throwing up wishes and prayers. Y'all ain't hearing what I'm saying. You have to give what you expect to get in return. I said it. Thy wishes and prayers are not going to produce money. No, it is not. No, not a oil, not a water, not a handkerchief, not a candle, not an amulet, not a piece of jewelry, not a incense, not a herb, not a piece of jewelry, not a chakra chain. Money comes when money is sown. Woo, 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 woo. Watch this. Here is the principle outlined in Luke. Give. Doesn't say what to give. It just says give. And whatever you give, it shall be given unto you. But when it's given back to you, you don't get what you just gave. You get what you gave in greater proportion. Give, and it'll be given back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Watch the last part. Shall men, Lord have mercy. That means that your act of giving now draws to you and you to those persons that are designated, designed to give into your bosom. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Doesn't say money, it just says give. It shall be given unto you. Give time. It shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Give kindness. Kindness is in short supply these days. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Folk just mean for no reason. Used to be a time when I was growing up as a kid, especially among black people, you didn't pass another black person, whether you knew them or not. You didn't pass them and didn't speak. You always, hello, how you doing? Or at least give them that little nod. Nod your head back or nod it forward. Give them a little smile. It's good to see you. Now, good morning. I'll give you that. And we'll turn their head, look at you like, because kindness is in short supply. It is in short supply because humanity has become bitter and mean and hateful and fearful and defensive. And so we operate from a space of traumatic PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome, post-traumatic stress. Yeah, y'all know PTSD. Okay? And so now it's like, good morning, and don't speak. Won't even be kind. Won't be kind. Driving on the road. Everybody's packed in. Everybody's crowded. Everybody's trying to get there. Someone turned their blinker on. They need to get in the lane. Rather than waving them in, let me speed up. Make sure they don't get in front of me. Y'all ain't gonna holler back at me now. Come on. Lack of kindness. Lack of kindness. But you give kindness and it will come back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Huh? Give support. I'm here for you. No, this isn't about me. I'm not even going to talk to you about what's going on with me. I'm here to support you, here to help you. What do you need from me? How can I help you? What can I do for you? Well, how can I assist you? And it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. What makes giving magical is that it places within your hand the capacity and the ability to create your own lived experience. You get to determine it. You desire to have an abundance. Watch this, because let me finish that principle, because I didn't finish it. Give, it shall be given unto you. Whatever you give, it'll be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Shall men. So I'm going to bring you into the company of those who can give into your bosom. Okay? So I'm going to bring you into I'm going to make sure you have encounters with others who are of the same giving nature as you, who are going to give to you, that it may not come from the person you gave it to, but it will come from someone or someone's. But let me keep going. Give, it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give into your bosom. Here's the last part. Very important. Here is the very important thing. This is the point that gives you the abracadabra, that gives you the control, the magic wand. With the same measure you meet, it shall be measured unto you again. What? In the same proportion that you give, it will be proportionate. Your return will be proportionate to what you gave. Whew. Proportionality. This is very important. This is a very important thing, because you get to determine your experience. Listen, this is the magic wand. This is the abracadabra. This is the hocus pocus. Okay? This is the open sesame. The same measure that you meet shall be measured unto you again. In whatever proportion you give, it will return to you in greater proportion. It will be proportionately bigger than what you gave. Proportionality. This is important because there are those who have been convinced if you give $1, you're going to reap $1 million. That's not proportionate. Lord have mercy. That's not proportionate. Well, I am kind. I give kindness to my children, my foe and no more. But then you want everybody to be kind to you. That's not proportionate. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You kind to your family and everybody else, you mean as a junkyard dog. How come kindness ain't coming back? It is proportionate to what you are giving. And so you get it from all your family members, but everybody else. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Proportionality. You get to determine. Bridget said, I gave someone $20 one time and turned around and found $20 on the ground a few hours later. And that $20 you found is an indicator. It is not the full harvest. Proportionality says that you're going to increase, says that you're going to get, you would have gotten that and more, pressed down, shaken together, running over. But $20 is not going to create 20 million. That's not proportionality. That's not how the system works. You can't drop you can't rather pull the cow's tit one time and get a gallon of milk. That's not proportionality. You don't plant one seed and get an entire field. What you do get is a tree that has multiple fruit on it. But if you want a whole field, then you have to plant more seeds. The more seeds, the more trees. One seed produces one tree. That tree proportionately may have 30 fruit on it, maybe 40, depending on what type of seed you planted. But it'll be more than the one singular seed that you planted. But it's not going to produce an entire field. If you want an entire field of that fruit, then you've got to plant a field of those seeds. And then you get back proportionately a harvest that is proportionate to the amount of seed that you have sown into that ground. Proportionality. See, that's also help you to stop falling for some of these con men. If you give this $50, God say you'll never be broke again. That's not proportionate. You know good and well, $50, you're going to need more than just a few $1,000s to never be broke again another day in your life. No, one seed is not going to produce that. It's simply not. I know they're not going to tell you that. It's not. You have to plant and keep on planting. And the more you plant, the more harvest that you bring in. Proportionality. The same measure you meet will be measured to you again. There's the magic. That's your magic wand. That's your abracadabra. That's your hocus pocus. That is your magic wand. You get to determine what your return is going to be, what your experience is going to be, what your form the increase is going to take. You get to determine it. Are you a giver? Or are you a barn builder? Are you a giver? Or are you a hoarder? Are you operating from the space and the mindset of abundance? Or are you operating from the space and place of fear, lack, want, need, scarcity, limited resources? That's expressed in how you carry yourself across the board in every facet of your life. Huh? I might have missed some comments, so let me go back. Okay. Okay. I put that one up already once. Let me go down. Yes, not the broad, but the lender. That's absolutely right. That's right. Okay. Diana says, our minds need to be plowed up. Some of the roots are deep. Sometimes pulling the weeds don't get all the roots. Breaking the weeds off. The roots remain, and this causes weeds to regrow. Absolutely. We have to uproot that old way of thinking, that way of fear, that way of dependency and neediness and crippled and leaning and depending on Jesus. And Jesus is going to work it out. Jesus going to fix it after a while. We got to uproot that idea that, oh, I got to hold on to this and pinch a penny and just hold on to every nickel and dime that I got because I don't know, man. I'm going to run out. I'm not going to have enough. I'm not going to have enough to make ends meet. I got to be careful. We got to uproot that mindset. There is a text in scripture that people find arguments with all the time, where Jesus is purported to have said, give to every man that asks of you. Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. Don't be stupid. Hold on. You can be a giver. Don't be foolish, though. You don't give to everybody now. No, hold on. Oh, that's that fear. What are you afraid of? What do you have to lose? You just make more. You just create more. Well, what if they take it and do something? You're not responsible for what they do. That has nothing to do with you. That's not your business. You're only responsible for what you do. Oh my goodness, I know I upset the apple cart right there. Yes. When you operate from that place of abundance, you don't sit there and worry and fret and fear and overwhelmed because of the idea that there's a short supply of this. I don't have much time. I don't have much money. I don't have much. I can't take my heart can't be hurt no more. I can't love nobody. I'm all loved out. What kind of nonsense is that? You need therapy. You all loved out. How can a spirit whose very essence is love now say, I don't have no more love to give? What? Then you don't exist. As long as you down here sucking up this air, you still exist. You still have love to give. Just tell the truth. You scared. Diana says, my parents would get on us if we weren't polite. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Okay. And she goes on to say, I enjoy speaking to others even if they don't speak back. That's not my problem if they don't. Exactly. And Diana, listen, I am for someone from somebody who knows you personally, I am a witness. If you ever meet Diana Clemens, you will feel like you have known her for 500 years. Because when I say she does not meet a stranger, she does not meet a stranger ever. Ever. I have witnessed her strike up a conversation with people that she just laid eyes on 10 seconds before and will stand there and talk and laugh. Before you know it, they laughing and talking and just swapping stories and carrying on with any and everybody. It didn't matter where they were. She has that heart. She's a giver of herself, of joy, of peace. Okay? Let me go on back down. Go back down. That's true. Oh, Toya, that's right. You're a witness too. Toya's like, yes, you will. She's amazing. I was like, it's the truth. I'm telling you, absolutely. She said, you got a heart of gold, Diane, and it's the truth. She does. Absolutely. I can bear witness to that personal experience. After knowing her for what has it been? 11, 12 years now? Maybe a little longer? Ooh. One of the kindest, most outgoing, friendliest persons I have ever met in my life. And that's why people don't mind being kind to her. She has an abundance of kindness flowing back to her, an abundance of kindness, consideration. Love flows back to her. She experiences it because she gives it so willingly and so freely, not to picks and choices, but to everybody. Everybody. Okay?
Serious. So it makes a difference. All right, I know I'm way over time. I got one other little thing that I want to touch on. Okay. I wrote it down. Okay. Giving is an esoteric science. You've heard me say that never fails to produce the results if it's done. Listen to this. If it is done with love and joy, because the law will shower you with a pressed down, multiplied return. Okay? It never fails to produce, because there are laws that govern the universe: the law of increase, the law of sowing and reaping, the law of prosperity, the law of circulation, the law of compensation, the law of cause and effect. These laws all interact when you are a giver. When you give from the space of abundance and with a disposition of love and joy. Okay? It's not giving to get. It's giving because I love to give. Oh my goodness, let me say it again. It is not giving to get. It is not a barter system. It's not like you trying to swindle and con God. God, all right, now I'm giving this. What you gonna do for me now? You see me giving it. All right, I'm holding you accountable. What you gonna do? Wrong attitude. You are cheerfully, hilariously, gladly, happily, lovingly, joyously giving without worry or doubt about any expectation of anything from the person that you are giving it to, because you understand that the Spirit of God within me is the source. I can create more. And that the laws that govern the universe are absolutely at work 100% of the time. So without me efforting, without me trying, without me having to sit there and say, okay, I'm calling on you now, I'm depending on you, they are at work immediately. They never fail to produce. Okay? You give in love. You give joyfully. Yes. She says, I give because I love. That's right. That's right. If it's done with love and joy. That's right. Man, listen, that old saying about it's more blessed to give than receive, man, that's true. If you ever become you ever embrace your authentic nature as a giver, as a generous person, as a loving spirit, I can't even begin to describe the euphoria that you feel when you give. When you can give to someone else, give them a smile, give them a compliment, give them assistance, give them an understanding, give them counsel or advice, give them money, give them time, give of your talent. When you are able to give and you impact the life of others, it brings forth an emerging joy and exuberance. A blessedness that can only be experienced. Why? Experienced when you give. Why? Because you are then operating in alignment with your true, authentic self. Stop calling yourself stingy. You're not. You may act in stingy ways because that's what you were taught and you were operating from the place of fear. But you are not stingy. You are not a hoarder. You're not greedy. You're not. You're not afraid. You are not bound. but you are at liberty to fully give and thereby express your highest, greatest, truest, most authentic self. You are a giver. That's who you are. So it is an esoteric science that will never fail to produce the results if it's done with love and joy. This is the last thing, and I'm done. There is no mandatory method of giving, but there is a mandatory mindset. Somebody write that down, put it in the comments. There is no mandatory method, but there is a mandatory mindset. What I mean by method, you can tithe, you can sow seed, you can just give, you can make sacrifices. There is no mandatory method. God has not set any hard and fast rule about the method of your giving, but he does set a hard and fast rule about the mindset. There is a mandatory mindset. You have to give from the place of joy. You have to give from the place of love. But if you are a tither, and there's nothing wrong with that, it's not mandatory, but it is an absolute wonderful vehicle to use, as is sowing, as is seed planting, as is sacrificial giving. Okay? But if you are a tither or you use some other mechanism in order to give, as long as it is not mechanical, calculated, or manipulated, then that method pleases. That method is effective. As long as it is not calculated, manipulated, mechanical method in order to try and garner favor with God, unload your guilt, or meet some other sense of obligation and play a bartering game with God and with the law. Because when you do that, there is absolutely no benefit to your giving, nor is it beneficial to the receiver, really. But when you give with love and joy and a sense of fun, whimsically, happily, joyfully, lovingly, then the windows of the heavens, yes, the richness of the soul opens up and begins to pour out and thrust you forward. Now, it is absolutely important. Listen to me. I'm through. I'm closing. I'm way over time. I know. It's about an hour and 39, an hour and 40 minutes now. Woo, 40 minutes over. But I'm closing. I'm done. It is imperative and important that during the course of this 90 days of abundance, that you're not just doing the principles in meditation and reciting them, holding them, embracing them, and shifting your mindset, but that you are actively giving. So during the next 89 days of this 90 days of abundance, every single day, intentionally, deliberately, find ways to give. Whether it's kindness, a smile, joy, or peace, help or assistance, money, helping hand, understanding, opportunity, instruction, find various ways to give. And be radical with your giving. Give more than enough. They ask you to go 1 mile, go 2. They ask you for your coat, then give them your coat also. That's what that text means. Go over and above. Be exorbitant with your giving. Are you hearing what I'm saying? They ask you for a ride to the bus stop, take them all the way home. You understand what I'm saying? They ask you for 15 minutes of your time, give them an hour. Or tell them, listen, there's no limit. Take as much time as you need, as you desire. How can I assist you? Find methods and ways of giving. Find people and places that you can sow into. And remember, whatever you desire more of, that's what you have to be willing to give. It's important that you exercise being generous, your generosity. It's imperative during this night, because there's no need for the manifestation and the resulting fruit of abundance if you're going to just build barns. Lord have mercy. I'll say it again. There is no need for the manifestation of abundance, the resulting fruit, if all you're going to do is build new barns. No. The whole purpose of abundance is so that you're able to give, so that you're able to fully express your truest nature, which is love, which is expressed through generosity. All right. I lost most of my audience tonight because I stayed on so long. I had a good little crew up in here for a while. I don't know whether it was how long I was on or some of the things that I said, but oh, okay. But thank you for tuning in and being a part of this. We get into day 2 of the 90 Days of Abundance plan. I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. to lead you through guided meditation on principle number 2 tomorrow morning at 6:30. Make sure you meet me here. Make sure you up and you are prepared. You are rested and ready as we get ready to meditate and draw in, go into the presence that abides within us and begin to build up that energy of abundance within. It's a powerful, powerful thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing each one of you in the morning at 6:30. If you'd like to put into practice some of what you learned tonight by giving to me, you're more than welcome to do so. I welcome your gifts. It's your way of demonstrating your support and appreciation for all that you're receiving from this platform and through me as your medium. Not medium as the person who's talking to the dead for you, the medium through which the Spirit is speaking and informing, teaching, and empowering. If you want to demonstrate your graciousness and your gratefulness, then you can do so by using the Cashapp or the Zelle that you see on your screen. And I appreciate whatever gift that you give tonight. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for caring and for your giving and your sowing. There are some of you that consistently sow and give, and I really appreciate your generosity and your kindness. I absolutely do. There are others of you that, have not brought forth the manifestation of money to give, but you support me with your prayers and your well wishes. I appreciate you. But if you are in the position where you don't have money, that's the thing you need to give. Remember, you need to give in order to get. You have to give what you desire. And I'm the person, I'm telling you, I don't care. That's why I'm saying I'm not putting any limits on whatever you give. If you can give $1, 50 cents, 35 cents, if that's all you have, give that. What you gonna do with 35 cents? Not a whole lot, but give that. Start the flow of reciprocal increase coming into your life. Okay? The time when you are running low is not the time to stop giving. That's the time you give more. Because that's how you keep creating more. So, anyway, give shall be given unto you. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the teaching tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the morning. Thank you for being so patient and putting up with me for 1 hour and 47 minutes. I will see you at 6:30 a.m. Have an absolutely splendid night.